Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Iraq Priestess, and I wanted to make a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I didn't know how to approach this video. I'm not trying to convert anybody, so I just want to make that disclaimer. We all have our own spiritual path and our truths and what resonates with us and things like that. But I have subscribers. They kind of wanted to know a little bit more about my path. And so I thought I would share a little bit about my path. I practice Espiritismo. So in English, it will be spiritism. And I know I did a video before on a white altar that I showed. And the white altar was very significant. Because that's what's considered our ancestral altar. There's a great book on that by Florencio Guevara, and he talks about La Mesa Blanca, the white altar. That's a staple and a very big foundation in my tradition and in my form of spirituality, because it is believed, white is the highest vibrating color. It is kind of like the color of divinity or creator or whatever you believe that to be, source. And so the cloth has to be white, the flowers have to be white. They're kind of like an offering to the spirits. You have the waters that are believed to be kind of like a portal between the physical and the spiritual world. Some people believe it takes the spirits, like they say there's negative spirits trying to hurt you, they kind of get trapped in the water. That's why the table should always be light. White candles, you'll never see like multiple colors of candles on a traditional espiritista or spiritualist table. You have the bell to kind of like raise the vibrations to call in the spirits. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of stuff on that, but that's basically where you would go to commune with your ancestors, your spirits, your quadrant, your everybody is believed, everybody has familiares, spirits that are in this life want to help you. And then your job as a spiritualist, a spiritista or spiritist, is to, as they help people take out causes, spiritual blocks or whatever your clients have, you as the spiritualist, the spiritista, will intercede on their behalf, and between you and your spirit helpers will kind of take away those causes, give them remedies, help them, things like that. As you help others on this lifetime, it is believed that not only do you grow spiritually, you also help your spirit helpers to evolve as well. So they continue to elevate, right? And then that sometimes helps them to, let's say they had to pay a penance because of a past life, or they stuck in between worlds. Let's say something like purgatory, and they come back, like their penance will be, you need to help such and such. You are assigned to this person. And between you and that spirit, you help each other. And you help clients, and you help people to evolve, and you help them for the highest good of all. You continue to ascend. So that spirit becomes higher and higher and closer to higher ascension, to finally like they're with source. Sometimes that spirit may come back in another life because they reached that level, or they might just stay in spirit. You know what I mean? So it's like you help to elevate them and they help to elevate you. And so it's our job to kind of intercede. And it's our job to help elevate them, not worship them, but honor them, honor their wisdom. It is believed that they help with divination and to bring the messages, to intercede on your behalf to source, which to some people may be male or female, to some people may not have a gender. In my personal belief, I believe divinity, source, has no gender. It's beyond gender, race, age, time, space. To me, source is just light. That's just my personal thing. Espiritismo can be like a religion, but it's more of a practice for me, kind of like witchcraft. You can be an espiritista and follow other paths like Catholicism or Buddhism or Orisha worshiping, you know, Lucimi or Yoruba or whatever it may be. So this is part of my spirituality. The white altar is a very big focus point. Like I said, offerings are made on my white altar to my spirits. Okay. It's very important to commune on a daily basis with our guardian spirits, because if we don't use them, they leave us. Kind of like animal totems in some beliefs. So as we evolve, they evolve. And so, yeah, so that's main part. That's how I grew up. My mom always had a white altar, my grandma, everybody. And in the white altar, there was also services done around that space, usually in un centro, so like a spiritual church, if you will. And there, the mediums will gather around, and they would start to, I guess, prophesize or divine, however you want to call it, and help people with spiritual causes. Sometimes the other person might take on that person's cause. So the dark spirits, the spirits that are trying to harm people, they will be sorry and then they go on into the light, or they're not sorry and you still, you know, remove, exorcise. I do believe in that. I've seen that, you know, demonic spirits or spirits that are attached here that have like not the best of intentions to do harm, like protecting the people from those things. There's certain prayers that are done to open up a session, to close a session, songs, and just so many different things. People usually wear all white, so white from head to toe. It's kind of like, so there is ritual clothes to this practice as well. There's just a lot of things. I can't go into too much depth into everything, because there are a lot of secrets and stuff that they kind of tell you when you initiate yourself. But it's basically, that's what it is. It's really working with your ancestors and communing with them. My ancestors, what I connect with mostly happens to be of indigenous ancestry. So I resonate a lot with a lot of African practices, you know, such as Yoruba. And I'm not saying I am a Yoruba practitioner, but there are certain things of the religion, of the path, that I do incorporate in my practice, along with spiritualism, Espiritismo, which is a form of shamanism, and everything, because there are very shamanic practices in Espiritismo as well. Herbs that are used to heal people, certain cleansing rituals that are used to help people, because the religion, the practice, dates back to, you know, slavery. When the slaves are brought into the New World, they were practicing, I'm just showing the sources to just, you know, they were brought into the New World. This book talks about that. And they practice in the Yoruba, which was a very prosperous and popular religion in certain parts of Africa, mostly West Africa. They worship Orishas, which could be the equivalent of angels, or to some people, god and goddesses, with the difference that they believed in a main source, and then they will have their Orishas. And they worked with ancestors as well. And then from the ancestors to the actual Orishas, and there's certain practices and offerings and rituals that are done to honor, to elevate the spirits that you would work with. Because of slavery and religious wars, I'm going to call it, the slaves were not allowed to worship in the way they wanted to. So now we're talking about, you know, the 1600s and so on. They started to incorporate, what they started to do was because in the Caribbean there was a heavy population of Catholicism, you know, because despite popular belief, slavery was also done by the Spaniards. You know, people in the Caribbean were owned, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, this is history, were also owned by the Spaniards, okay? And that's why a lot of people in the Caribbean have Spanish descent, Italian descent, just Europe, okay? Um, so it was very heavily Catholic in Spain. And the good thing, and what the people of the Yoruba religion realize, is they have a lot of saints. So what they started to do is blend Catholicism with the religion of Yoruba. And it branched off to different things. Like Dominican Republic has its own form, Haiti has its own form, Puerto Rico has its own, like so on and so forth. Cuba has its own form. So one that a lot of people know, like Santeria, voodoo, like etc. Palomayombe, different branches of, but they all come from Yoruba originally. And what they did was they started to pray to a certain saint, but actually give it the Orisha's name. So, for example, La Virgen de Caridad, the Virgin of Charity, okay, became Oshun. La Virgen de Regla, which is a town Regla, because in the 1600s there was a town Regla, okay, and a Virgen Regla came as apparition to the slaves and to a person of color that was associated with the church. And the spirit told him to make a wooden carving of the Virgin Mary. And the slaves, they loved that because she's brown like us, is what they felt. And there was claimed to be miracles in that town of Regla, that's what she's the Virgin of Regla, to have happened to her followers. And she was protecting the slaves and things. So the people that were still practicing Yoruba, named her Yemaya. So she became Yemaya. So as everybody was like, oh, they're listening to us, they're converting to Christianity, whatever the case may be, they were actually still praying to Yemaya. They were still praying to Oshun. Santa Barbara, Saint Barbara became Shango, etc., etc., etc. So there were African deities that were able to live through that very oppressive period. They were still able to practice their religion in secret. So that's why in a lot of Caribbean spirituality, you have a lot of Catholicism, okay? You have a lot of African spirituality, but you also have Criollo spirituality as well. The way that the religion started to spread was when slaves started to escape, they started to share their different beliefs, because there's also a lot of Arawak. A lot of people from the Caribbean come either from the Caribe or the Arawak Indians, which are different than the Indians in the the U.S. I come from the Arawak Indians, the Tainos, which is, my mother named me Taina because I named after the Tainos. They started to share their culture, and there was a lot of infusion of African and Taino Indian in slavery. They started to mix because the Arawaks started to commit mass suicides when they were being captured and being enslaved. That's what they brought in the Africans from Africa to take over, because they were losing labor. They were actually killing their own children, like they did not want to be slaves. And the population through that, and sickness and all the wars that were going on between the Spanish settlers and the other settlers from Europe and stuff like that. So they were able to keep their religion that way. And so in the path that you're going to see, like sometimes there'll be religious prayers, like Catholicism prayers, but there's also spiritual workings that are done as well, that some people would say like kind of witchcraft, There's, so yeah, so basically that's what I was, wanting to say. Like, my path is an infusion of that time. Of there's African traditions that I still follow to this day. I very, very, very so resonate with African deities. I so resonate with the form of shamanism that the Arawak Taino Indians did and shared, and the practices still live on. And I do have a close connection with Catholicism in the sense of like prayers and the saints and things. That's why Mary is an important staple, because she has different apparitions and different forms. She's very important to a lot of people because um, she appeared in different ways. That's what they believe. And she allowed her people to continue to practice their religion. Like Yemaya appearing as the Virgin Regla, La Virgen de Regla. The story behind her is that she's the mother. So she's seen as like a mermaid. I think some people would say like she could read, like in some cultures, maybe Aphrodite. Yemaya is believed to be the divine mother. And Yemaya is, there's a prayer that we do called the Castaway Prayer. And basically that prayer is, she's believed to have left Africa. She's believed to actually have left Africa, okay, because her children were being enslaved and taken away in slave ships. And she loved her children so much that she left her homeland and followed her children to the New Worlds. And it is believed that she appeared to them and said, it's okay if you call me, Virgin Regla. I know who I am. And she was believed to have protected her children. It is also believed that when the slaves, when the people, I don't want to be a slave, and they will commit mass suicides, or there was mass murders done on the slave ships, that it was her who would extend her hands out in the oceans and receive her children. So Yemaya is very powerful deity. Also, if you people that work with the Orishas, you will also see beads that they carry around. The colors of these beads are earned, okay, when one is initiated. And the colors all represent your protectors, the deities that work with you, and things like that, because everybody has their assigned, and the spirits that actually come to oneself who wants to work with you. And that's when the mysteries and the secrets, which I'm not going to get into that here, some things are traditionally not supposed to be shared. And every one of these deities, they have their own specific offerings, their own specific colors, their own specific things that they like, and they will help and they will work with one. And so that's basically the gist. I mean, there's much more to that, but it's basically the honoring of your ancestors and recognizing that the Orishas, the African deities, or whatever deities speak to you, but I'm just talking about my path, intercede for us on our behalf to Creator, to Divine Source. They help us to elevate, and we honor them for that. Our ancestors help us to elevate, and they elevate with us, and they grow with us in this lifetime. A lot of us do believe in reincarnation in different lifetimes. A lot of us do believe in ascension. I can't say all of us, but most the people that I can come across do not believe in hell. Maybe purgatory, not a hell kind of thing. Just kind of like you pay your penance and then you move on to wherever you need to move on to, whether it's another life or being a spirit helper or something of that nature. But that's basically what I wanted to say. I wanted to create a little bit of a series, maybe once a week, and get into specific, deities, just give you a little bit like their mythology and stuff. Being that I don't really find a lot of stuff on the internet about this, and I just wanted to make this video because I have to say, and I'm not going to say who it was, I bought an oracle deck recently, and Yemaya is such a significant person to me and to so many others. And this is not something, I'm not trying to be like, you know, derogatory or discriminatory or disrespectful or anything like that. But when I saw Yemaya portrayed very European, it kind of hurt. Because if you know the Patakis and the Ifas, they always say that she was the color of onyx. And for so long, the people that will, and I'm not saying this religion is just for us. That's not what I'm saying. I just didn't like the way she was portrayed, only because I feel like it lessened what her experience has been to a lot of people, which is sometimes, and this is the elephant in the room, but I'm just going to say what it is. It's hard living in a world when you don't see a lot that may look like you. Like, I went through that whole, I was very excited when they started to make dolls of color. Okay, I play with all Barbies, but it was nice to see a doll that looked like me, right? And it's nice, even when it comes to deities, to see deities that look like us. It's like Kuan Yin, you know, Kuan Yin is Asian, you know, and when they make her in oracle decks, I love that she's Asian. If someone's going to use a deity that's Hindu, it's nice that they look like Hindu, that they look ethnically a certain way. Or if a deity is from Israel, that they look like they're Israelite. You know, that's nice, you know. And seeing her looking like that and not looking like she is actually from Africa or an African deity kind of hurt my heart, because I feel like even though she's the mother of all of us, for a long time, you know, she was the only hope that our people had. She looked like them and made them feel like, okay, so maybe I'm not less than, you know what I mean? And, you know, I would just like that if she's going to be put in a deck, that the history behind her is known more, and that she's done in a respectful way. And I really hope I don't offend anybody with that, but it's just like, I love Bridget. I love Bridget, the goddess Bridget, Saint Bridget. And I have a deck, which I love because she has red hair. She has beautiful, like, skin, and she looks like she's from Ireland because she originates from Ireland. So I like that, you know. I have another deck, Gaia. Like, I like when she looks Greek because she's from Greece. Like, I like that because then you know where they come from, you know, the lore, the history, the people behind it, you know, that kind of thing. And so when we tend to Europeanize certain things that come from certain traditions, I find that kind of hurtful, because believe it or not, and I have all kinds of decks, but to some of us that hurts, because sometimes we just want to see ourselves in something. Does that make sense? And I like the Yemaya is described a certain way. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, much love, light, and blessings to all. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I'm going to try to start doing these videos once a week, every Thursday. I'm really excited about it. And just share a little bit more about the Orishas. Because like I said, I feel like not too many people talk about it. Like, I've seen videos on Catholicism and Espiritismo and things like that, but I have yet to see many on, like, Orishas and Yoruba. Maybe they are there, I just haven't found them. But anyways, much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next video, guys, bye.